What's up, desktopers? Xavier Wills here for Desktop Bodybuilding, and we are back for another episode of Bodybuilding University. And today I'm joined by Stan de Longeaux, Stanimal, who just competed and got third at the Orlando Pro Show in the Open Bodybuilding. We're joined by Aaron Polides from Australia in his parents' baller mansion, and also Logan Guthrie, who's only 3 to 4 weeks out of your pro debut at the Tampa Pro.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
but yeah, which is awesome. And obviously, first time on the podcast, and we'll get to you, man, in just a second. But Stan, we'll start with you, my man, because you just competed, obviously, at the Orlando Pro, and it was exciting. It was a show that I was like, this is, a chance to potentially win this one, get to the Olympia. And I know that's obviously what you wanted from the show. It was sort of like that top three for me was like a clear top three. And you're up there battling. So how was it, man? How was the whole experience? How was the weekend? And how do you feel about your look, I suppose, at the show?
Oh man, it was awesome. I spent the whole week there. I was there with my training partner, Justin, and some of my best friends, Elvin and his girlfriend, Jessica. And like it's never been like in such a great setup. We're just like hanging out, doing our thing, not even talking about the show, nothing. Just going through the motion, workout, just hanging out, chilling, eating, resting, and yeah, I didn't even feel like I competed really. I was really, really like in the best condition, to be honest. So it was great to start the season like that. So usually the first show you get, it's a little more you have a little more apprehension.
Mm.
So I got that out of the way, and I didn't get that feeling this year. So now I can move on to the next one, and I'll be in Vancouver next week.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I've noticed as well, bro, like the photos that went up even after the show, you seem to have like a different level of fullness to those pre-contest photos, which makes sense, obviously, because you're going to probably fill up a little bit after. Like I looked at these photos, I was like, holy shit. So do you feel like, next show you maybe even learn more about your body coming into this next one for Vancouver?
Yeah, so we're gonna come in even more conditioned because I think we can bring some more details, and we're definitely gonna push the food a lot more too, because we kept it really safe
Yeah,
on
for
the.
sure. That's awesome because, yeah, obviously just bring that extra fullness with extra conditioning is obviously going to work well for you. Do you know anyone else who's doing Vancouver?
I have no idea, no, zero
Yeah,
idea.
that's good. Keep it that way. And then, dude, it's exciting, man. I was actually surprised. There's only like 10 guys in the show or something, or 11. No, was it 11 guys
Yeah,
in the show?
I think we were 13, but yeah, I wasn't expecting
Yeah,
with the season being so competitive and short. I was expecting more people showing up for sure.
absolutely. And it seems like there's just tons of guys that are probably going to jump into Chicago and Texas and all those sorts of shows because there's
Yeah,
so
I'm
many
going
American shows back to
yeah,
back that everyone's sort of jumping in it. But man, that's exciting and super excited to see you up on stage in Vancouver as well. But dude, like I literally told people on my bodybuilding news videos and everything. I said, oh, I'll be going live when they do the live stream over the weekend. And there's no live stream. I was devastated, man. Like, did you know this going into the show, or did you assume there's going to be a live stream?
I assumed there was gonna be one. Yeah, I had
Mm.
no idea that that was not gonna be the case because I think it's the same place that they have the Olympia. I mean, it is. So I mean, if they can stream the Olympia from there, they should be able to do it too. But I'm not sure. They said there was like some network issue with the building. It was not easy to do or something. But maybe they don't have the same financial means than the Olympia, and that's
Yeah.
yeah. But
Well, I think
yeah,
Jake Wood's like a billionaire, so probably makes a
yeah,
difference.
no, of course. Yeah.
But yeah, awesome, dude. Want to say massive congrats, and we'll be like rooting for you in that upcoming Vancouver Pro as well, man. And if you come in that little bit fuller and sharper as well, I can't see why you can't be right up there once again and battling for that win. But Logan, now first time on the podcast, my man. How you been? I've just featured up a photo on you on the desktop bodybuilding page, and I'll bring up your profile as well because just recently seeing your photos, I was like, I've got to feature this guy in a bodybuilding news video because like you're is it 3 weeks this weekend out of your pro debut?
Yeah. Yes, sir. 3 weeks this weekend. Yeah.
And this is the shot that blew my mind. This front relaxed, like you can see on the probably see it on the stream now off the screen at the moment. But your delts are ridiculous, and your
Thank you.
waist is super, super small. And I've obviously, you know, we were former teammates sponsored by the same company in the past. And so I sort of saw you coming up, but it seems like your physique since turning pro has just gone to a total another level. So it seems like you've just been able to make huge progression. Now, how, like, I suppose with Classic, the first question is like, how close are you to your limit in terms of like your weight cap and all that sort of stuff? And how much more do you have to drop before Tampa? Because it doesn't look like a huge amount.
No. We only have the past 2 days were 2 refeeds, and we're only like 7 pounds off from stage weight. Before we started the refeed, we were only 4 pounds off from stage weight, so that's not an issue whatsoever. We're kind of now weight cap wise, we're already going to be capping out the max, which is 200 at the very first show. So, like me and my coach, like we talked about, her name is Quincy. We're not 100% sure if I'll be able to stay in Classic with the weight cap being at 200, because this past off season I got up to 240, and we're like, we really can't let your body grow anymore because well, if we physically won't be able to do Classic anymore. So I'm like, if we got up to 240, and I wasn't even feeling like a fat 240, it was like a lean, good 240, and I'm like, well, that just means this next off season is going to be like even more. So I'm like, I don't know how long we'll be able to stay in Classic, but I mean, I personally feel like I want to stay in it. I just think I have a great shape for it, but I'm honestly willing to go anywhere. If my body wants to grow, I'm not going to stop it from growing.
Yeah. Well, you got one of the physiques that like, that's just like, I know some of the Classic guys, they force themselves down really hard. Like, you know, like Michael DeBull, I know he's like a guy that's like well over the cap. Like, and if he was coming in at his very best, like we know it would probably be 20 pounds over the cap, but probably wouldn't be big enough for the open. So you're probably in that same sort of class, at least over the next couple of years. But have you ever thought about just like, okay, well, maybe I could be an extra 5 pounds and then just literally just kill myself to get down to that weight cap?
I have, and I don't think it hurt any to do that. Just because it kind of, I'm just blessed with the genetics that I got, to be honest with you, to where I don't really have to like kill myself to get like down in weight. I drop weight pretty easily. But like I said, I don't know. I'm kind of just up for really just whatever happens to my body, whatever direction my coach wants me to go in, and that I'm comfortable with going in as well. I'm on board for it. I do know that, I mean, obviously, just like you said, I can use obviously more muscle maturity, more mass, especially if I'm going to come out of Classic or even in Classic. I know there's some areas I still need to work on, but I mean, the off season it was the first actual true off season I ever had, where I actually had a coach guide me through it. I stuck to everything. It was the first time I didn't bullshit my plan. I wasn't cheating every fucking night, every weekend. I stuck to the meal plan. I had 2 cheats a week. That was it. Didn't go over it. And this is actually the very first prep where I have had no slip ups in my diet ever.
Oh, really? Yeah.
So I think it shows, but so.
And we know from what we was talking about before, we know you're a weed fan as well. Has that been sort of something that's sort of made it hard for you to stick to the plan a little bit? Because I know like there's some guys that will smoke during their prep, or like, you know, like Stan and a bunch of other people, and they have no issue, but like it doesn't cause them to get like the munchies as people think and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. And then other people, they're like, I think they just get a bit too relaxed or maybe smoke too much, you know? So it's like,
I mean, to be honest with you, when it comes to the whole smoking too much thing, I'm on that. I'll go through a half in a week, if not sooner. Yeah, if not sooner. I don't believe in the munchies. I think it's bullshit. I think it's all made up. Like, I truly don't believe in it whatsoever. I just think people think they have the munchies because food just tastes better when you're high, so they just want to eat more.
Yeah.
Well, I think there's actually something that's about like smoking weed and lowering blood sugar, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So
I read something on it, and I know it's technically like.
But it's the same. Like, self-control at the end of the day.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's like it's up to you if you're going to put it in your mouth or not. So I'm like, to me, I smoke because it relaxes me. It actually keeps me from eating. It keeps me out of my head. and it just mellows me out.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's probably a little bit of a distraction as well. Like, I know obviously, like when people smoke cigarettes, like a lot of the time when people stop smoking cigarettes, they get fat, like the average layman
Yeah.
sort of person.
Yeah.
It's because that's the distraction, instead of going and grab something to eat, they grab a cigarette. And it's probably like sort of the same thing in some sort of a way. I know nicotine can blunt your appetite and things like that, but I know with weed, it's like it could probably just be that distraction you have instead of being like, oh, geez, I want to eat this. You're like, well, I'm going to smoke this.
I truly just feel better when I smoke, to be honest with you, overall. Like I love going on my walks, smoking a joint and just enjoying it. Like it's like there's nothing wrong. And I don't know, I smoke before every workout. I smoke before I do my cardio after my workout. Like I'm like, it just keeps me in the fucking zone. And I love it.
Yeah, and it's much more common. It's still got like that bit of a taboo thing. Like even in the US, like in Australia, it's still illegal apart from in one state in Australia,
Yeah.
which is like the smallest state, which is quite ironic, where you can grow 2 plants and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, every other state it's seen as illegal and stuff as well. But even in the US, where it's legal in, or at least decriminalized in most states, it still seems to have that bit of a taboo because, like, behind the scenes, when you speak to most pro bodybuilders, a ton of them smoke still. Like
Yeah.
Stan, this. Like probably Aaron, you probably even know this as well, man. Like it's like you talk to guys and you're like, tons of guys smoke, tons of guys have weed. It's just
So many.
To try to eat more in the off season, or to come in the prep. Like there's for sure everybody. Like
there's so many benefits to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So
anyway, West Coast for sure. Vegas
for sure. I don't understand why people are scared to talk about it. Like that's one thing I don't understand. It's like people that are Olympian up top level, I know that smoke, but I'm like, why? I guess they don't.
Yeah, I think it's a stigma with the the lazy, the rasta. So like doesn't really fit with like the champion mentality where like you go hard after you. It's like kind of like opposite.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I
don't know, man. I just like me. I'm all transparency, and I'm like, man, if this is what helps me, I don't want anyone else to think that they can't bodybuild because like, oh, well, I smoke weed, so I can't. I won't be able to ever bodybuild because of this. And I'm like, no, I'm gonna let you guys know this is how I do it. This is what I do. It's how I feel. And obviously, it's me. It's not gonna be the same for everybody. But I'm like, there's no need for me to hide anything from anyone. I'm just gonna be straight up. If you like it, you do. If you don't, I don't really care.
Yeah, dude, I think people are drawn to that anyway because like you look at like Joe Rogan, like he just straight up says it. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't care. He's got the biggest following, and he's made it actually probably more easy to talk about. I guess I don't know. Like he's made it more, I suppose, publicly acceptable.
Yeah,
and not so much of a like because the amount of success he has and the fact that he's like, yeah, I have a joint like one a day sort of thing or whatever, and on average.
Yeah.
But I remember I remember watching an episode of Joe Rogan once, and Wiz Khalifa was on there, and Wiz Khalifa has his own strain and everything. And
yeah.
He said, how much do you smoke? And he's like, I think he said half an ounce a day or something like that.
Yeah.
Which is wild. And he's like, and Joe's like, whoa. And he's like, don't you do that? And then Joe's like, I have like probably a joint a day sort of thing. He's like, oh no, man. He's like, I thought you'd be smoking all day, And it's like,
oh, dude, I'll be smoking all day. Like behind me, I have my roll ups, my papers, everything. It's just ready, waiting for me. So it's like, and I don't see any problem with it. I just don't understand why more people aren't open about it. It just makes no sense to me. Speaking of like Wiz Khalifa, go ahead.
No, there's a lot of bodybuilders that are very spiritual too, and so like a lot of people do like shrooms, like kind of like spiritual things like psychedelics and stuff like that.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm a big fan of psychedelics. Like what they do for me, like what they do mentally and what they can do for you. I'm a huge proponent of it.
Yeah,
very big proponent of it. And that's another thing that I think is too taboo when people are like, it's like, man, y'all gotta open your minds a bit more, dude, because the shit can be so beneficial.
But there's so many. It's self-healing. Like, if you have like stuff that holds you back in your life, that allows you to actually
really open those doors. Yeah.
And as I don't know if you saw this the other day, man, they actually had Australia's the first country, I think, in the world to actually I think they're prescribing MDMA and also for PTSD, and they're prescribing psilocybin, which is magic mushrooms, you know, as it's often called, for depression in basically people where other things don't work for them. And we're the first country, and it's done under doctor supervision. So like if you've tried a few things for depression and it doesn't work, you can basically, if you see a psychiatrist and they deem you appropriate for it, then you can go in there and you can take psilocybin and you can have a trip under guidance. So you can have like a full big dose of magic mushrooms with a doctor there guiding you through it and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's shown that like there's huge benefits to it because it was studied in New South Wales over here, which is Sydney. And the people that have basically the articles and stuff I've seen have said shows huge benefits. You know, it's just that there's such a taboo behind it that it's, you know, MDMA is a party drug and psilocybin, people go and have trips and they use it as a party drug, but it can be used in other ways.
The whole mental health hasn't actually improved at whole, like, you know, the way we resolve mental health, or we approach mental health since they removed all those drugs. That actually made people think and go against the government. So that's why it got banned in the first place. And since 100%. Then, no progress in mental health. Well, very, very shallow. And now introducing those things like LSD, even MDMA, and now they're making progress again.
It's interesting, yeah. But as man, you sent me. We'll move off that, and as you sent me a photo of you training. I don't know if it's from you training today. You look fucking insane. And I posted up on the Desktop Bodybuilding Instagram page, and I'll share it in just a second. And like we've sort of talked about your comeback, man, and whether it's going to be later this year or next year or whatever. But dude, like you were obviously, you know, top 10 in the world in the 212 in 2019. And to me, by your updates, because you've always sent me photos of like your lead up to comps and the old off-season photo and whatnot. These photos are like the freakiest, biggest that I've ever seen you. And considering you were 9th in 2019 and now you're so much bigger, it's like I'm so excited for your comeback in the 212s. And you sort of, I can see you just going under the radar right up until you sort of get right towards that 212 return. But man, how are you feeling about sort of seeing your own updates and stuff at the moment?
Yeah, bro, I'm eager. Like I know that I'm a lot better, you know, and then I want to prep like today, but I just know if I keep continuing this path and just stay in the shadows and just keep in the background working, that when I do come back, so around New York Pro next year again, that I'll come back with a big impact. Do you know what I mean? Like straight back into the mix again, because that's my plan. I don't want to come back and be further down the list than where I was, you know. So, which is not an easy task because obviously I made the Olympia in my first ever pro show. So it's a big task to beat, but I'm confident that I can. That I'm better than I've ever been in every area of my physique, you know. So, and usually, like, not to be harsh on myself, but off seasons I usually look pretty average. I reckon I looked past it like Olympia year off seasons and leading into my first pro show, and I looked pretty average in the off season. You know what I'm like, that I sort of come alive in preps a little bit. So this is the best I've ever looked in regards of off season, like condition and shape and stuff like that, and obviously size as well. So. Like I said, I'm annoyed because I want to be in prep right now and be back fully in the mix, but I just got to keep focusing and follow the plan for early next year.
Yeah. And dude, like you said, your physique comes alive in prep, especially like your upper body as well. Like I notice when you hit like a hands together most muscular in your off season, compare that to your prep photos. They're just so dramatically different. Even if you can see, you're big and whatever, but your chest, it's like when you prep, it's like, it looks like it just goes like, it just gets hard and just looks dramatically different, you know?
Bro, the only difference is, I can tell you right, the only difference, and some people won't believe it, they can believe it or not. All my off seasons, my whole career, I've just eaten whatever every day. I've never tracked anything, like just eat. And sometimes I've just purely under-eaten and not eaten enough and just poor food. And now the last 5 months, it's just the most whole food I've ever eaten. And I'm just trying to act like a prep. I'm still nowhere near like 100% prep diligence, but it's the most whole food I've ever eaten in prep, and I'm putting in that extra effort to stay up a little bit later at night and get some more food in. So that's literally the only difference.
Yeah. And you got obviously a new food sponsor too. So like Logan and Stan, like Aaron gets food for his kids, his wife, himself, and he gets paid on top of it as well. So he's got a good
Well,
setup.
goddamn, dude. Shit.
But honestly, I can't complain. With Trifecta, I'm in pretty good hands also. So.
Yeah, got you sorted.
And
I was
that's been another game changer the last 3 weeks.
Go ahead, man.
I've been with them for 3 weeks, and the food is so tasty. So it's stopping me from going out to get burgers and burritos and shit like that because it's just like, not to sound corny, it's just their meat's really good. So it's encouraging me to eat more boring, more prep style. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know how Lee Priest ate like he did in the off season, but I just cannot handle it.
What, eating KFC and whatnot?
I couldn't eat like that.
Is he coming on? And I want to know, like, did he legitimately eat KFC? So rumors that were saying that he ate KFC every day.
I heard him say that before.
Yeah.
Like,
like,
well, did you see how fat he used to get?
Bro, if I have KFC twice in a week, like I get stomach problems, and it makes me just feel like lethargic, shitty. I feel tired, and then what happens is like any of that food, I eat it right, and it feels good, and then I can't get the rest of my meals in for the rest of the day, and at the end of the day, it makes me worse off.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know how some people can handle that shit because I can't deal with it.
I'm one of those people where I don't see how people can have like a free meal or a cheat meal like early in the day and then continue the rest of the meals throughout the day.
Oh, I'm the same. I'm the same.
How do they do that? I'm like, yo, if I had a breakfast cheat meal, like Nick Walker loves having breakfast cheat meals.
No, I can't do it.
I mean,
it has to be the last meal.
6. Like I wouldn't eat all day. Yeah, it has to be the last meal. Has to be. And it's post-workout. It has to be.
And then go straight to sleep. Yeah. I was the same. Like Patrick didn't give me any cheat meals the whole Olympia prep 20 weeks straight. Not a single cheat meal.
Nah.
But we did start another prep during COVID, which I couldn't leave the country. But that prep I was allowed, believe it or not, we had a discussion, and I was allowed 1 cheat a week. And I'd always leave it to the last meal, eat the food, and then straight to sleep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, plus you sleep like a baby after that, man. You sleep like a rock. I mean,
it's the best sleep ever. Stan, do you get cheat
so
meals?
good.
No.
That's why he said nothing.
Had one.
I'm fine with it.
Olympia, I did 20 weeks straight, not one single cheat. And then I asked Patrick about 5 weeks out, and I was shredded at 5 weeks out. I said, hey, can I ask you a question? He goes, yeah. I said, can I have a coffee, like a latte, like a cappuccino? Mm-hmm. And then he's like, what the fuck? He goes, until your fucking ears are striated, no, you cannot have a cappuccino. Bro, it was one. I said, can I just have a little small cappuccino, like with a little bit of froth on it? And he like fully shot me down so bad. I'm like, sorry, I won't ask again.
You're like, I'm never asking ever again. Right, my bad.
He ripped me a new one.
No, me after since August last year, I had one after the Legion. I had one after the show in Brazil. I had one after the Olympia, which was Korean barbecue. And now I had the fourth one this past weekend. And it was a dessert.
It's funny.
So Olympia, I did 20 weeks. And when I landed in Vegas, I was ready. I was like 9 days out. I was ready to go. Like as soon as Patrick seen me in real life, I was ready to compete that day. And he goes, "Oh, go have sushi." And I thought he was kidding. I was like, "What?" He's like, "You're ready? Go have sushi." I almost cried. Like I had like
you should have asked for cappuccino.
Yeah. So I was Googling in Vegas, best sushi in Vegas, and like,
at that point, you got to get the best that you could possibly find. Like, I haven't had a free meal in 20 weeks.
It was called Yellowfin, and it was like $50 per plate. I got 6 plates in, and I rang Patrick. I'm like, I'm at Yellowfin at the Bellagio. I'm like, bro, I'm like $400 deep, and I'm only like six plates in. I say, can I get sushi on the way home? And he goes, go here. And he sent me this sushi place that was like 20 minutes out of Vegas. And it was like $20 all you can eat sushi.
Oh, yeah.
And he goes, stop there on the way home and have 10 plates. So I drove out of there, Yellowfin, and went and had 10 plates. It was the best ever.
Jesus fuck.
They don't have that in Australia. All you can eat sushi. My mates would be there every day.
Holy shit, man. Holy shit. I haven't actually even thought about what I'm going to eat after my show at all. I haven't thought about a single piece of food.
How can that restaurant profit from a
Funny.
bodybuilder paying $24 for all you can eat sushi?
Yeah, that's about the price here. 28.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
That's like 4 plates of sushi here.
that is amazing. Yeah.
It's like, and
It's good value.
I'll eat
Yeah.
10.
And
He's
you
like,
have fish, and the fish come from you.
As soon as they see us, as soon as they see us walk in the door, they know they're going to lose money.
Yeah. Well, I actually heard, I saw something online.
I don't even know what I'm
recently
going
the
to
other
eat after my show yet. Shit.
You have to
You got
decide,
time,
man.
man. Don't even think about it. Yet.
I'm not even worried about it. That's the funny part. Like, I haven't had a single free meal in like 20 weeks right now. So I'm like,
I think the longer you go, the easier it is to deal with.
I agree with that.
You know, because the first month I struggled, and then after like 6-7 weeks, I just forgot what a burger tastes like.
I'm about to say, holy shit, I hadn't even thought about that. What the fuck?
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that. I haven't had one in forever. Let's ask the man himself.
We have Lee Priest. Happy birthday.
Happy
51 years old.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
How was, for those who don't know, Lee Priest went hot air ballooning this morning. How was it, my man?
Different, wasn't bad. You're high up,
Different.
floating around, thinking. I've seen. The worst thing I did was when I do stuff like that, I go watch all the YouTube videos of hot air balloons crashing. So yesterday, I just watched hot air balloons plummet to the ground, hit power
Plummeting.
lines, tip over. So I'm looking at the people who are on board. There's a lot of Japanese, Chinese. I can't tell the difference, but they're on board. They're over here, and I'm thinking, if this goes down, who am I going to lay down first? And then I'm going to lay on top of them.
Who am I getting on top of?
Who has the most cushion? Oh, you're frozen, Lee.
Did you have to go super early?
Lee is completely frozen.
Because usually
You're
Blacked
locked
out there. I didn't hear what you said.
Oh, yeah, we can hear you, but you just locked on. Oh, there you go. You're back now.
He's back.
Did you have to go super early, Lee?
Yeah, I had to. My plan was to not train today, stay in bed, do whatever. So my friend who got it for me goes, you got to be there at 5 a.m. So I had to get up at 3 a.m. And then I had to be. So my idea of sleeping in and having an easy day sort of went to shit.
Yeah, because I saw you liked something of mine at 3 a.m. and I was like, fuck, Lee. Because I actually woke up in the middle of the night because I fell asleep with the lights on. And I thought, oh, fuck, I've got to eat something. I'm starving. And I just checked my phone and I saw that you just liked it while I was awake. I was like, what the fuck? Lee's up at 3.
That's what happens when you get old. You get up early, go to bed at 6 p.m.
Yeah, I'm not quite there yet.
Why so early for a hot air balloon ride? What the 5
they
a.m.?
like to go up. I think they like to go up to see the sunrise and stuff like that. So,
Oh, okay. I'm about to say, is it dark?
it was when we went to the area because they go out to a big field, and when you just
Oh, Lee's turned into a robot again.
Oh.
Oh, you're
yeah,
back.
so
You're
I was
back.
out there, so as the sun goes up, so I think that's why they do it first thing in the morning. So,
Okay, that makes sense.
and I think maybe the
Yeah.
wind even too. The breeze wasn't really blowing hard. I know that yesterday a few people who came on today said they got cancelled yesterday due to fog and high winds. So they're on today. Then you go back to the Regis Hotel at the Hunter Valley there and have a big buffet breakfast.
We were just talking about a big old buffet.
Yeah, don't get on any buses in the Hunter Valley at the moment.
I know.
Oh, for
my
those guys.
daughter, my daughter took the first phone call for that at the call center because she works at the O call center, and she got the first phone call for that. She came up here 2 weeks ago because I think all the first responders had a meeting, and there was a policeman I know. He said one of his friends went there, and he said when they uprighted the bus, it was just body parts, people chopped up from the guardrail, just slicing through the bus.
So
That's
those
brutal.
You, Logan, and Stan, like there was basically a bus accident, and the driver survived. So 10 people died in it, and he basically the story is that didn't he say something along the lines of like, "Oh, check this out," and then he just started driving.
I heard through one of my police friends that they've had a few complaints about him. He's like one of those, some people just drive a party bus, but so what I've heard is that he's like one of those that if the people are partying in the bus, he likes to get involved and party with them rather than drive the bus.
Oh, that's yeah.
Anyway, his life's completely ruined. But anyway, on that morbid note, let's move on to something else. But
Stan, congratulations on your third place, and good luck in your next show coming up. That's coming up soon, isn't it?
Yeah, next in 10 days. Not this week.
So you're at that fun part of the mind games and the dieting more than I always found. The last 2 weeks was okay physically. It was always just the head games you go through more than the physical side.
Yeah, especially right now.
I reckon in between shows is the hardest.
I'm gonna run to the restroom real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
I reckon in between shows is the hardest part. Because you get.
It's like, could I eat a little bit more? Should I up a little bit here? Should I do this? No, I shouldn't do that. Oh no, yes I can.
Yeah, and you have a bit of food after the show, and you forget how good food tastes, and then.
Well, yeah,
that's the worst, isn't it?
The whole travel and all that stuff. That's like the thing that really sets you up.
As was hoping you were going to join, Lee, because we were talking before about people that eat KFC every day. And then Aaron said, I hope Lee joins because I want to ask him how the fuck he did that. And did you eat it every day at one stage?
Or if I said ask if it's true, because that was the rumor. The rumor was that he used to eat it. Like
I ate a lot of it, but the funny thing is, even to today, like I eat Kentucky, but I used to probably eat McDonald's nearly every second day. I ate McDonald's way more than Kentucky, but people always thought I ate Kentucky more, but I was always McDonald's.
What was your go-to meal?
But do you try and be clean and eat just the chicken breast, or do you have actual legit meals?
What, with the Kentucky?
No, when you go to McDonald's, do you try and be clean and get just chicken breast? Because I've seen you get sometimes you get just like fried eggs.
What? I know. Like steroids can make you big, but what fucking drugs are you on? Do I go to McDonald's and get chicken breast?
No, because I've seen a photo. I've seen an Instagram of you once, and you went and got like 5 fried eggs.
I get eggs. You can get eggs from McDonald's. Well, that's how I start my day. I get the 5 eggs, but then I get the hash browns and the sausage egg McMuffin, but it looks good if you just get the eggs for the protein to start with, and then you let it go. But now, if I go to McDonald's, I don't try and eat healthy. I don't try and do can I just have this? Or some people take the top bun off. I'm only eating the bottom bun. I got less carbs. It's like, oh, fuck off, you dickhead.
It fucking makes me sick. I like those people who take Halo top over real ice cream. If you're going to eat ice cream, eat ice cream.
Exactly.
No, but there's one guy that actually diet out of McDonald's, and you know him, Lee Priest. It's Danny Hester. He actually goes chicken. He gets all his meals from McDonald's.
But that's the thing. It's like you can, if you want, eat somewhat clean if you had to. But if you go into McDonald's, because like in the off season, I used to tell people when I used to get the 285, and so people are like, why you get so big? I'm like, I don't aim for it. I just enjoy eating. I said, I don't have a contest coming up, so I don't give a fuck if I got cheekbones and fucking abs. Fuck that. I just want to be a normal person, and I enjoy food, so I'd eat that. Then I might have Chinese, and had Chinese the other day. It said no MSG, but when I woke up the next day, I was like a little bit bloated in the face, you know.
They lied.
We've got something in there that turns you Chinese.
You definitely didn't look like a normal person, the 285.
It was just fluid, you know, that time of the month you get a bit puffy.
That time of the month. We all know.
But you never had that like gut issue with all that food? Like that type of food?
No, when I was younger, oily food more than anything. That's why even now, if I take like fish oil tablets, if I have too many, it just goes straight through me, oils do. But anything like that, the only thing I have problems with now is a bit of like lactose intolerant, because I never used to. I used to drink full cream milk when I lived in America. I used to have half and half milk on all my cereal and that. But every time I dieted for a show and cut dairy out, after the show, when I added dairy back in, it got worse and worse every time. But I just take those day pills now. And
I like how it doesn't stop him from eating it though.
I'm the same. I used to drink heaps of milk. I used to drink milk all the time. Now I can't handle it.
Yeah. My first prep after that, like I remember, because I didn't have any lactose for like 12 weeks, I remember I just went and had ice cream straight afterwards. I'm like, oh, what's going on? Why do I feel so sick? So
I used to drink.
I'm glad you said ice cream then. I'm glad you said ice cream then, Xavier. When you said after my first prep I didn't have any muscle, I thought you were going to say.
No, I didn't. Still don't, but it's fine.
I saw the photos, but I didn't want to say anything, you know.
Yeah, it's rough. But Anyway, let's get on and let's discuss this weekend's upcoming Mr. Big Evolution Pro, aka the Portugal Pro, which Brett Wilkin won last year. There's a little bit later in the year last year. And the competitor list, once again, is sort of a smaller competitor list, but there are some quality guys in the lineup, so it should be at least a pretty decent show. And I'll bring up the competitor list for you guys so you can see it.
Is it just me, or does it seem like less and less guys are doing shows recently?
I think I want to ask you, Stan and Aaron, and all you guys actually, because obviously last year and years prior they had the point system, and I'm wondering if it's taking out a certain group of guys that would potentially be doing these shows just with the potential that they could get through on points. So, you know, maybe they're just doing one or two shows and then going, I'm not going to win a show.
They get through on points. Yeah, but they get through on points and they just become stage decoration on the Olympia.
Yeah.
What they do.
I think I'm glad they got rid of the point system because I'm like, if you can't win a show, don't go to the Olympia.
Yeah, I get that.
Back when we competed, it was top five at the Arnold and top 5 at Night of Champions. The Olympia was the top 10, and the other shows were top 3 generally. So that was when I competed. That's who qualified and stuff.
That's why it looks the way it looks.
Did you know they've got rid of the point system?
Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah,
I didn't even know that.
You're pro, Aaron. You should know that.
Well, you need to speak to your athletes a bit more.
Welcome back.
Just last season. That's the first season now.
So why was there 500 million competitors on the Olympia stage?
No, because after that they changed it. So that's the first season without the point system.
Yeah,
there's only 3 guys that went on points last year, but it was because the season was like I think 15 months long. Because normally it's like 12 months,
dude.
but it was 15 months long. So you even had like 2 of the same show, but like one was on in one year, one was on in the next year. But they had 2 qualifiers from the same show, just in different years for the same Olympia. So this year it's obviously different. You know, it's obviously a shorter season. So when you look at the qualified list this year, it's going to be a much smaller Olympia in terms of competitors, which I think is good because 30-something guys in the open alone, and then you've got. We actually mentioned in the chat before there was, I don't know how many guys in men's physique. There was 60 odd in the classic physique. It's just. At that point, it's ridiculous, and something has to be done about that. Especially those divisions like bikini, men's physique, and everything. There's like 500 Olympians. I'm like, it should be a bit more exclusive than that.
4 call-outs should be the max. 4 call-outs, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So call out 1 to 4, and there should no be 4 times 6, I reckon. So 24. Yeah. I reckon there should be that amount, you know?
But to answer your question, I think there's a lot of people like that were qualifying on point. They decided, well, if I was making it on point, now I'm going to take the year off and to really make some, stuff improvement and come back. And I think those people, we're not seeing them right now. So.
I hope it improves the quality of the people that are on stage.
And next year, we're going to have a few guys that have decided to have a year off too, like Martin Fitzwater and James Hollingshead, that have sort of just decided, hey, we're going to sit out the year and we're going to try to come back at our like very best, which I think will be exciting too. Sorry?
I think I'm impressed with lately, or just seen a couple of pictures, is Justin Shier. He looked really good in his back and
he looks good.
Of his back.
Yeah. He looks absolutely
really good.
Dude, his rear shots have gotten thick. Like, he's fucking on right now, man.
His legs, everything is there.
The only problem is now, his back looks so good in that rear lat spread. Next year, when he comes a little bit off, they're going to be like, fucking nerve damage. He's got nerve damage. He's fucked.
Yep.
Any little thing now that happens to a bodybuilder, nerve damage, he's fucking done.
Is he competing soon?
Sorry?
Is he competing soon?
Yeah, he's doing Chicago in 2.5.
Oh, okay. How much do you weigh?
I have no idea, but he's going to do an interview with me soon. He said we'll do a short interview. He said he's a bit burnt out on the podcast lately because I think he's done like 2 or 3 hour ones in a week or something. So he's like, dude, let's do a podcast after the show. And he's like, we'll do a quick interview.
You're a bodybuilder. You don't do anything else, for fuck's sake. Come on.
I'll clip this and send it to him. But he's looking.
That's a message from Lee.
Yeah, exactly. But he's looking really good.
I don't want to sit on the couch and talk to you. I'm too busy.
He does actually own a pretty successful business. He's actually in the weed business.
Yeah,
he's in the weed business.
Yeah, he's in the weed business.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, he should be relaxed on the couch then, shouldn't he?
I want to try some. See if it's any good.
My wife made me some chocolate chocolate cake last week, and she put an ounce of ground up head in this chocolate cake. I don't know how much that is. So I had a big slice of chocolate cake, and I'm watching TV, and I'm like, fuck, my feet feel funny. Now I'm like, oh, she goes, but it's the pain in your shoulder gone. I said, yeah, but now I'm fucking tripping out. I said, I don't like this fucking feeling.
He's like, the pain's gone, but now I'm freaking out.
Oh, I was laying in bed. It feels like I'm floating. I had to open my eyes, and then it feels like I'm coming down. And I'm fucking floating again. I'm like, this is fucked. So
I did like 3 or 4 grams of mushrooms like two weeks ago, and the worst decision I made. We had like this. I have a buddy of mine. He makes like some like lemonade out of it, but it's not like lemonade. But so I chugged like 2 of them. I was like, I'll be all right. Worst decision I ever made. I tried to go out in public. I was at like Ross or something shopping, and it hit me. And I remember I grabbed the rack. I was like, I was with my buddy. He goes, Michael, we gotta go. He was like, why? I was like, I'm not doing good. I mean, I literally walked up to some random man, and I go, your cousin's looking for you. He goes, who the fuck are you? I go, I don't know, man. And I just left. My buddy was like, yo, we gotta go.
Worst I did one of those acid trips. I'm thinking that little bit of fucking cardboard under your tongue, 7 hours, all I saw was fucking multicolored spider webs.
For 7 hours?
7 hours, and the floor's coming up, it's spinning. I go to the toilet, I come back and my wife's like, what's wrong? I said, I've just discovered something. She goes, what is it? I said, I'm a fucking Navajo Indian. She's like, she goes, how are you Navajo? I said, I'm taking a piss, and this big fucking wolf's in the toilet talking to me while I'm taking a piss. I mean, it was the worst fucking trip ever. I'm like, fuck that.
See, trips like that are not fun. Those are not the good trips because, man, you want to get out of it so bad, but there's literally nothing you can do.
No, you just have to hang on for the ride, pretty much. You just
dude. I got back home
to come out of it when I did like MDMA and that. And I got on the same sort of thing, and I was all tripping out. I thought, fuck this. I thought, I know, I got something left in the drawer. I know how to come out of it. I went from MDMA to fucking coke. But I want you kids listening, don't do drugs, okay? Stay healthy.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you though. That's why I stick to like simple things like ecstasy and things like that. I don't get bad tripping things like those. But man, that mushroom
I don't like that feeling where, like I said, when I've done coke and that, you're sort of in control, you know what you're doing and shit. But that trippy stuff, it's just like your whole head and all those fucking when you're seeing shit.
And you can't predict if it's going to be a good or bad trip. So if it's bad, you're just like, oh, I'm fucked. I'm here now.
And then my wife
I'm on this train.
Like, some people, my wife's like, oh, sometimes people go on trips and they never come out of them. I'm like, oh, now you fucking tell me. I could be retarded forever. More so than I already am.
You start thinking, is this my existence forever? Am I psychotic? Like, oh my god.
That's why I'm a fuckwit now. That's what it is.
You're just constantly tripping. You just don't know it. This is your existence.
I'm not really here talking to your people. I'm not here talking. I'm still up in the balloon.
We're all still flipping right now.
Oh man. Okay. Let's get to. I don't know how we got to the Mr. Big Evolution show to talking about this, but anyway, let's get back to it. I'll bring back up the competitors.
Just blame me. I come in sidetracked.
Yeah, exactly. And Lee, remember how I said you'll get that live that I did demonetized? And you didn't even say anything that bad. I can't even remember what you said. It got demonetized afterwards. Unbelievable.
Don't put my name in the title. That's how you don't get them.
I'll hide it. I'm going to ask Dave if all your videos get demonetized.
Put Flex Lewis was on or somebody like that. Don't put Lee Priest.
Yeah, or I'll put like an apostrophe instead of the I. Yeah, special guest.
Special old man it is.
Yeah. But we've got here the Mr. Big Evolution show. I'll read out the list. We've got Lionel Baiki, so it'll be interesting to see if he comes in off-season shape or if he'll be in somewhat condition. We've got Roman Fritz, Peter Clancy, Amir Omaragic, Alessandro Ori, Andrea Presti, Vlad Sukorochku, Laszlo Smezka, and Christian Wolski.
Vlad should do the show in Romania. It just sounds fitting.
Well, Vlad looks ridiculous. I don't know if you've seen him. Have you seen the photos of him?
Yeah.
No.
Vlad looks fucking big.
Oops, wrong Vlad.
But there's a few good names you mentioned there. If they come in condition, could win the show.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think, you know, like in terms of who's placed where in the past, you'd have to say Andrea Presti because he's a multiple-time Mr Olympia competitor, I believe he is. He's won a few pro shows, but
I hate when people say that. I've always believed the best on the day, even if it's your first show, the best on the day, you should win. Fuck paying dues and fuck waiting your turn.
I hate that, man.
If you're the best, you should win. Judges can see you look the best up there, so don't be like, oh, you look good, we'll give you second. You can do good next time. Fuck that.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I totally agree. But sometimes Vlad's looked like the winner leading into a show a few times in the past, but then he shows up on stage and you can tell he's not the winner. He's third or second or fourth or whatever.
That's that last couple of days hocus pocus they all want to do. It's like, don't change it. Guys, if you look good, tan up, pump up, cut your water a little bit, and that's it. Forget this carb loading, insulin loading, and all this bullshit. You're going to fuck it up. Just go in looking like you do the week or two before and you'll do great.
Yeah. Does anyone have Vlad winning this show, like based off a competitors list?
He could.
You could, yeah.
I reckon he win.
I
think Presti could probably take it.
Hey.
Personally.
Yeah, and you look at Vlad here as well. Like he's really shredded here. Like you look at the glutes, hams, everything there, and then you look at this one. He looks like I don't know if the mirror, because this is taken in the mirror as well. I'm like, is the mirror warped? Because his delt looks like it's about a foot wide. So I'm like, how is it actually that wide there? And it's still
if you look at some of his other pictures, I don't know. If you look at some of his other pictures, I don't think it's warped at all. I just think the dude's a fucking freak in certain body parts. Like his back shots, he has a rear shot in here somewhere I saw that was just fucking stupid for. I can't remember where it's at, but I don't know. I feel like
crazy ones.
I mean, if Lionel could actually come in shape for once in his life, I think he could actually do good.
He's come in shape. I remember he came in shape at an Arnold Brazil once and he got fourth, and many people thought he actually should have won.
Yeah, that was when I started bodybuilding at 16.
Really? Wow. How old are you now?
29.
Holy shit, yeah. It's a while back. So, yeah, it's been a while since he's been in condition.
It's been a while since he's been there. I think I've always loved his physique, but it's like, I don't know if does he coach himself?
Yeah, and I know he I don't know if it was I hope I'm getting this right. Lionel Bakey, I don't know if he had some sort of health issue or something and he said he was cured by God or something. I don't know, but this is what he posted 16 weeks ago.
It was the gym DMA.
Or mushrooms was one of them.
We know what it was.
But he posted a lot of these gym sort of photos. But he competed last year, and that was the show where everyone just went like nuts on him because he was so far out of condition. He was.
Yeah, he was not. He didn't look like himself at all.
No, he looked downsized and just way out of condition.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think I do remember. Didn't someone saying he was sick or something leading up to that? I'm not sure what it was though. But
I mean, I really hope he can come in because he has a fucking amazing physique. Mm-hmm. But I just don't know if it's like, how old is he? Is it too late for him?
No,
based on his last appearance, I don't know.
I think he's like 40, 42.
Oh, okay. Wish that was time.
You can do the Masters Olympia.
He should. He should. If he can come in, like, you know, if he comes in, like, you know, how he looked in this photo, you know, like if he looks like that, he looks ridiculous there. Xavier,
Aaron, have you seen, being from Australia, has Josh posted any pictures of how he's looking lately? Or?
He's posted nothing that I've seen.
No, Josh isn't. I follow him, but I haven't seen anything come up. I wasn't sure whether he's just in hiding.
He's gone MIA, Josh. I know that
he was doing Dubai.
I'm not sure if he's told people this, but I know that after he announced he was going to Dubai, he never went because he got real sick. He had something. I can't remember what it was, glandular fever or something was fucked him up a little bit. Because then he just disappeared. And I messaged him like 2 or 3 weeks later. I'm like, hey, I haven't seen you in Dubai. Like, have you gone to Dubai? And he's like, no, I'm really sick. Got glandular fever. I don't know if it was glandular or something like that.
Yeah,
and then I was like, all right, rest up. And then I've never heard from him ever again. And he hasn't put any posts up. So I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, I messaged him the other day. He actually even said to me, because we talked on the phone right after that Masters Olympia was announced, and he said he was feeling a little bit unwell, and he said he wasn't sure if it's glandular fever or what at the time, and he's obviously had the issues where he had to have, well, I don't want to speak out of turn exactly what it was, but he had those the issue with his brain and whatnot as well. So he still gets the head pain and stuff like that, which is got to be tough because like I remember him saying initially that he was having, like he'd train heavy and he'd have that strain. So nothing like eating was uncomfortable, the chewing and everything, plus also the training put strain on it. So if he's going to prep for it, he's going to be in some level of pain. So he's going to have to push through something if he does it.
I thought he retired. I thought he was done competing.
No, well, he's making a comeback at the Masters.
He's getting massive migraines when he trains real heavy. That's something to do with the tumor, because remember he had a tumor. But when I spoke to him at the start of this prep, he was feeling pretty good. And then obviously he got sick. But I don't know. Yeah, like I said, I haven't heard anything less. I don't know what's happening there, but I don't know.
He might just shut it down and gone like, nah, I'm going all in. I'm just focusing on this, because I know Josh is one of those guys that he's a little bit like me. Like you get overwhelmed with because I'm sure he gets plenty of messages and stuff on Instagram and all these other outlets. Like sometimes I'm like, oh, it's too overwhelming. I don't want to fucking reply to anyone. So I think Josh is a little bit like that sometimes. And he said
it's hard too, because you want to go all in, but then any of us that have had things happen to us, when you're going all in and if you had problems and then you suddenly get a migraine or this and that, you start questioning your mortality or whatever it is. And, mortality, family, is it worth it? You start weighing up your odds on what you're doing. I used to know people that would go in one show, they go all out and they're like, I don't care, almost like the rich piano, just inject everything, do this and that. I'm like, well, that might be good and you might get big and win, but just say that one win costs you your life. I remember when Benazizi was competing and the judges kept telling Benazizi, you got to come in dry. So that whole week he didn't drink. He was just crushing apples, getting the juice from apples. The last show he wins it, that's great. But then he has a heart attack that night and dies. So it's like, it's not.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll get onto it as well. I want to discuss Jo Lindner a little bit later as well. But we'll get back onto the show because we keep getting distracted every time we talk about it. But we'll get back to that and feature a few more of these guys, because Roman Fritz is another guy that's competing.
We pressed his win and move on.
No, we got more guys. We've got Roman Fritz in the lineup as well, who's really, I think he's brought his best this year. He competed at a show.
Better. He's getting better each show, I think.
He's getting a lot better.
Absolutely. And he even said as well, like after one of the competitions he posted on his Instagram, he said, having a few days from forcing so much food down during his prep, like his metabolism is so crazy that he actually has to force food while he preps, which is a luxury compared to some guys. But this dude he never gets a let up from having to force food, which is insane. But he's looking in great condition
year round. He's in condition like year round. And I mean, I don't understand. His posing has gotten so much better too.
It was so much better on stage. His pre-contest video, I sort of saw it and I'm like, his posing doesn't look that great. But then on stage, I think he got critiqued a bit before he went on stage. I mean, I did a little bit in one of my videos and I saw they did it on Fuad's podcast as well. And he seemed to just pose so much better on stage as well. So that's a huge help. So he's posing better. He's in just as good shape as he always is, and he's way fuller. So I'm hoping this guy can get a win at some stage, because he's one of these guys that's been into it for so long.
What do you guys think his weak point is? Like, what do you think is holding him back from being able to place in those upper placings?
I'd say arm size, probably.
To me, it just looks like probably overall. It's like, I think, the more he's doing, he's learning his body more. With bodybuilding, it just takes years. Even if you've got a coach or someone helping, it just takes years to learn your body, what fills you out the best, sodium or carbs or whatever. So I think he's just slowly learning. And I think too, because he's a taller guy, I think really, like, overall he looks great, but with his frame, he just needs probably just overall size everywhere, just to look big on his
Yeah.
frame. But I feel it's just like anything. You just takes
Yeah.
years to learn your body, and everyone's so critical. They're like, oh, he should know what he's doing now. But it's like, like we all know, you can do a diet 1 year and come in looking ripped. You go to do the same diet again, you're not going to look the same. You've always got to make changes every time. So it's just a matter of keep learning and finding what works and that sort of thing. So
I heard somewhere that he's going to try to do every European show this year, and he's pretty tall. I think he's like 5'11" or so, which is tall for a bodybuilder. So, but yeah, if he does every European show this year, he could definitely hit a show where he hits it well and he picks the right lineup and gets to the Olympia. So,
will he get burnt out before the Olympia though? That's a lot of shows to do before the Olympia.
But he's always shredded. Like he's always like a couple of % off. So if he has
but I feel
4
like
weeks between a show,
I feel like even someone who's as in condition as he is year round, your body's going to hit a point where it's going to hit a breaking point.
But he never needs to get out of condition. You know what I mean? Like,
I guess
if
that's
he's
true.
Slightly out of condition, it's like, oh, what is
but
he like half a kilo?
I think it's true. I think it's true, like you said, though, because I think we've all done it. Where I think the most shows I did 1 year was 11 shows, and sometimes you get to a point where no matter how much cardio you do, no matter how much food you start decreasing, no matter what drugs you take, whatever, your body just gets tired and it just won't respond anymore. It's almost like I'll do more cardio, I'll get harder, but you just seem to get flatter and softer. Because, like you said, your body sometimes just needs a break. But, we're all different. I know he seems pretty positive, though, when he's doing stuff. So I guess it just comes down to knowing your body. But, you do get to a point where it doesn't matter how much cleaner you eat or what you take, your body will just almost just goes into shutdown mode. It's like, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sort of not
done.
even putting in the fact of it. Obviously, like sometimes you forget. You're like, oh, he's always in condition, but you got to remember as well. These guys take stuff. You know what I mean? So there's a certain point where you want to go off as well.
No, don't tell me.
He's natural. He's natural. Look at that physique.
I'm sorry. I'm sure it's just TRT.
I was drug free. I never paid for my drugs. I got them for free.
Drug free. Free drugs. That's free drugs the other way around.
That's what it means, doesn't it?
Yes, something like that.
It's all the same.
But we also have a guy who I thought was, to be honest, I thought he was ripped off in the last show. Like he was, I think he placed second last in the lineup, and that's Amir Omaragic. He wasn't at his very best. He could have been slightly sharper, but there was guys in the lineup that I thought he definitely should have placed ahead because this is him on stage. I thought he looked still really, really good, and he was second last in that show. So Amir Omaragic is a guy that I think could definitely, he's got a little bit of gyno there by the looks of it, but he's prepped by Chris Aceto, and I thought he looked good personally, but he was literally in that last call out there, as you can see him here, and he placed second last. So I was really surprised because he's a guy that's placed, I think, top 3 in pro shows as well. What do you think about Amir Omaragic? Because he's only like 23, 24 years of age or something.
Damn.
I haven't seen enough of him to Oh yeah, I do remember him actually. Yeah. I haven't seen enough of him to really comment. To be honest, I didn't even notice him in that show. But obviously it must be different in person. If he was second last, like he's a little bit. I think he's a little bit slender in the legs. He needs some more legs, so he's a bit top heavy from what I can see. But maybe it was that.
Yeah.
What's his back look like?
His back's pretty decent from memory. I don't think it's his best body part, but let me try to find a shot of his back. But like I think he's got a wild physique. I think probably his back is
from the looks of it, he's not very proud of his back.
Yeah, there's no photos of it. You can
He's
sort of
got
see
no one
there.
there to take a photo of it. That's all.
This is 80 weeks ago. So this is like
there's one right there.
This was from 84 weeks ago, so this is almost 2 years ago. But still, he's only 22 or 23 here, so it's
amazing for a 23-year-old.
Yeah, it's insane. Because I think he's only 23 or 24 now, so it's like here he is next to Rolly. Yeah, pretty crazy. Hopefully gets a look in this week because here he is on stage. He's in the top 4 here with Rafael Brandao, Samson Dowda, and Beiruz Tabani. So
but he's getting exposed there because all them 3 have amazing wheels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it depends who you stand against. He's getting really exposed there negatively because them 3 have absolutely amazing. All 3 of them have amazing quads.
But that last show,
not so much Beiruz.
The last show in Spain, they all had like.
Beiruz has such a small waist that everything looks freaky.
Yeah, true.
Stan, what were you saying?
Stan?
No, I was saying that last show in Spain, just like it was a deep lineup. Like everybody was, a really good physique. Like even
That's
the
true.
other,
You know who surprised me? Chryso surprised me with his condition.
yeah.
Yeah.
He was peeled, man. I thought he was going to be one of those guys that never nails the condition, and he was real lean.
Yeah, I think his posing improved too. He didn't look as shaky when he was posing this time either.
His posing still needs to improve, but it was definitely better with the posing, and the condition was what really surprised me. Which I'm assuming in real life it would have been a whole other level.
What did he place at the Olympia? Like
11
the last time? 11th? Oh man, I'm excited to see what it looks like this year. Then, if that's the case.
Yeah, I think it'll be sort of like around that 8th maybe mark or something like that. And who knows, maybe you can push higher. Not too sure. But I was impressed with Chryso too. And I made that video last year, but it was just a YouTube shorts, or I put it on IG as well as a reel. And I said, like, what went wrong with Chryso at the prejudging from this show? Because he literally just fell apart in his posing. It was like the most unbelievable, like, falling apart job that I've ever seen on stage. From when he came out on stage to the end of it, like his midsection went out. He was like dripping in sweat, and he was just couldn't hold it together. Like he was literally just like, you could tell he was like, is this dude going to drop soon?
Remember the tan dripping off his body?
Yeah, he melted, bro. I was watching the live stream, and I was like, I remember just saying, I'm like, he is falling apart. Like, is he going to lose his prejudging?
You podcast people are so picky. Come on.
Lee, it was bad.
You damn podcast people.
Yeah. When was the last time you competed, Xavier? When was it?
I know, right? Actually, I found. Actually, we'll mention it. I'll show it afterwards. But I found an interview of me interviewing Aaron, because Aaron said, I wish I had that like interview from when you interviewed me back in my first comp and all that sort of stuff. And I'm like, I'm going to have a look for that on RX Muscle Australia when I used to run that like 10 years ago. And I found it from 2013, me interviewing Aaron. And Aaron's voice is like 10 times higher pitch. And I'm like, I just look ridiculous. I've got glasses on and I'm interviewing him and I'm a shit interviewer. And Aaron's answers are just like, I don't know. It's just, we're like, it's like a total different lifetime ago. And then I found the next year, both photos of us both competing at that same show the next year. So it was pretty cool to see. So I'll find
that was the year I last competed, when I was 42 in 2013. God.
Oh, really?
That's NAB, wasn't it?
NAB World?
No, the universe, yeah.
It was universe,
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
That's when people
I remember
when people
so your final year.
You're a short fuck. People go, you're a short fuck with a tattoo on your face and you never won the Olympia. I say, no, but I won the universe.
Right?
Not bad.
So your last year was my first year.
You wouldn't have been born my first year. My first year competing was 86.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit. I definitely wasn't. I definitely wasn't born.
That was -2.
I laugh at those photos. Fucking 13 years old on stage. 13 years old doing bodybuilding. God.
I remember seeing those photos.
Stan, he's 31.
Imagine if I did tennis or golf at that age. I would have been.
You would have been rich.
I just picture. Can you picture Lee doing tennis or golf? Picture that, like.
Yeah. Well,
like jacked.
I don't know how any bodybuilders play golf.
Did you see Martin Fitzwater playing golf the other day? He put up
I've seen Derek Lunsford. He actually looks pretty good.
I don't even know how.
Really?
I did a charity golf tournament once, and that was it. I'm like, this is fucking bullshit. What a stupid fucking game.
I get injured playing golf, believe it or not.
Yeah, I've got bulging discs in my back. I don't think it's worth the risk anymore.
Yeah, I had a sore wrist, a sore back.
Yeah, but the DOMs from playing golf are crazy. Like, just doing non-bodybuilder stuff is like you get the worst DOM. But I remember I went fishing and I went tuna fishing and I had one on for over an hour. And the soreness in weird places that I've never had soreness before was crazy. Like the rod ended up breaking because they reckoned the tuna was going to be like absolutely enormous. But yeah, the soreness was wild.
Dude,
but
I hadn't done boxing for a couple of months, and I did boxing again last week, and just doing that and just twisting and using your hips to throw punches for like the whole week. My abs and serratus were so fucking sore. I'm like, this is shit too.
Dude.
Yeah. So let's get back to this Mr. Big evolution. So I want to discuss one more guy, Peter
Hey,
Clancy.
can you not name the show? Every time I hear the show called Mr. Big, I'm like, what a stupid fucking name, Mr.
Mr. Big.
It
Sounds like
little
a
kid name.
It's called
I was going
Evolution
to say
or
it sounds like a
something.
gigolo's name, Mr. Big.
Right?
Yeah.
But Peter Clancy, he's got a really good physique. I suppose like in the last show that he did, which was the same one that Roman Fritz did over there in Europe, I noticed his lats are very, very high. Like when he hits his back double bicep, which you can't really see here, they look incredibly high. Like he's missing a lot out of his lower back, which I think hurts him a little bit. But he's got a really good physique overall. I think he can do well. But
Xavier again, fucking nitpicking people.
critiquing.
Oh, is that what it is? Professional critiquing.
But he's got
I
a great
think he
physique.
looks great. He looks great. You keep up the good work, mate. Your lights are looking great. Don't pay any attention to Xavier.
You're so the fucking opposite of that, Lee.
He'll follow me and he'll unfollow you.
Yeah, absolutely. But
he's like, he looks great for 6 weeks out.
you got to compliment sandwich them, say he looks really good, he's got a lot of muscle, he's got high lats, but overall he's great
Mr. Big show? When's the Mr. Big show this weekend?
Mr. Big Evolution show, aka the Portugal Pros this weekend. But,
Mr. Big.
Yeah, you're right. He's fucked.
But he's a guy that if he nails it, because Chris Aceto said he thinks the sort of last minute prep sort of didn't go well because he thought he's looking good, let's not change anything. So it seems like this time Chris is, going to change a few things last minute that he typically do with his clients, probably nothing crazy, but at least to hopefully dial it in a little bit harder this time around. So if he's able to do that, he could definitely move up a few spots. But does anyone think that Clancy can challenge it all for this title?
No.
Nah, not yet.
I'll take that as a no.
not yet.
So he's doing the opposite of what Lee said.
That's not saying he's not good, but I just think who he's up against are a little bit more experienced, have that bit more quality looking, and sort of the muscles just seem a bit different. So like I said, in time to come, yes, but I think at least this show, I don't think so, unless, like I said, Chris does something amazing, and because we've seen that happen before, we've seen people where you think, yeah, he'll do okay, but they pull a rabbit out of the hat, and you're like, holy fuck, and ends up winning the show. So.
I see.
I wish that was front on, not front on his front, like you see from the back, but I wish it was directly straight on, because you could see it a little bit better. But he's got good muscle quality, all that sort of stuff. But it's just the lats are very, very, very. They insert very high. So from anywhere down here down, there's not a lot. So it's like his upper back looks pretty decent, but it's almost like you have to put a hand over his back to see it looks really good at the top, but at the bottom it's just not there. But and I think that's what will hurt him against some of these other guys. But yeah, like you said, Lee, he's got a really good physique and he can do well. But he was sixth in this show, and he's in pretty good shape. So I can't see him moving up to the.
So did Roman place above him?
Yep.
Fifth, was he?
And I think Roman was fifth or fourth, and then Presti was second. So, and both those guys are in this show. So that's why I find it hard to see him winning this one. Yeah. But a great competitor still, all the same. But let's do some predictions. I'll give mine first. I haven't even thought about it too hard, but I'll give my top five. In first, I'll put Andrea Presti. Second, I'll say Vlad Sukarochku. Third, I'm going to say Roman Fritz. Fourth, I'll put Peter Clancy, and in fifth, I'll say Amir Marajic. What say you, Aaron?
I agree with you, but I just want to switch Vlad with Andrea. I'm going to go with Vlad for the win.
Okay, fair. What about you, Stan?
Yeah, personally think Andrea is going to take it also, and Vlad second, and then it's what starts to be like. I kind of get asked to see how they come in more, because a lot of these guys we saw recently, so you can have an idea like Andrea, Clancy, even like Volsky, which I think has a great physique also.
Well, Wolski beat Amir Marajic, who I put in fifth. So
it's so hard with the European shows because I can't pronounce half their names.
You can still see their physiques, though.
Yeah, I know, but like you say who's going where, but I can't even look at
The big guy in the
bro,
red trunks will beat the other guy in the black
Tell
trunks,
me
and
you-
then the one in the
bro,
blue
tell me
trunks
you can
will-
pronounce the lad's last name. You know why you
I
can.
was just about to say that. You can barely pronounce. You can. Man, I can barely pronounce his first name. I know
I can't pronounce
Vlad.
Vladislav.
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 Man.
Vlad the Impaler.
Glasgow, did you say? The UK festival?
Glasgow. Vlad Glasgow.
Vladislav Sukurushko.
Oh, Stan. But that's
Stan
because
can
you've
do
got
it.
that. Stan's got the.
I ain't even trying to say it.
Nah.
Okay, so Stan, give us your third, fourth, fifth. You can do it. I believe in you.
Then I said, so 1, 2, 3,
Poor
Roman.
Lionel. Poor Lionel's not getting a mention.
Yeah, because of his last showing. I don't know. I haven't seen anything of him.
Funny if Lionel just rocks up peeled out of his brain. And
Yeah,
Yo, I'm kind of hoping he does. I want him to show up and
Same.
just blow everyone away.
I wish he did, and then does a big fuck you to everyone else. Watch this. Bang.
Hell yeah. So Roman. Then Clancier. And I'm missing one.
Stands
You got Amir, you got Wolski. You've
I
got...
put Christian Volsky. Yeah.
Okay, cool. What about you, Logan?
Ah, shit. I mean, I think I'm gonna go Presti, Vlad. Honestly, I think Roman could take third.
Yeah.
Fuck. After third, man, I don't know.
Probably Wolski or Amir Miragic, probably, or Lionel.
That's what I was leaning towards. I was about to say everyone else. I kind of like what. I mean, I was with Stan said. I gotta kind of see what everyone else looks like.
Does it really matter?
Damn, dude, I don't know.
after first, does it really matter?
After third, you're practically lost anyway.
And we haven't even.
I mean,
If I'm
I
out,
don't
if I'm
even know.
top three, I don't really care where I am.
I mean, I'll be completely honest with you. To be honest with you, though, half of these names I can't put with the people because their names confuse me.
Yeah.
You're the same as me then.
Like, I physically need to see their name next to the picture so I can actually put the two
Yeah,
and two
Xavier,
together.
next time you need to put a thumbnal next to it.
This is why I like the 90s. It was so much easier going call me Leverone, NASA.
Yeah, it was so
Wheeler.
I can pronounce those names easily.
Jeez.
No one had a difficult name back then.
I know.
We'll have two federations. We'll split up into IFB Europe and our IFB America. But Lee, I know you hate pre-contest predictions, but who do you think? How do you think it will play out?
I'll go your 5, but I'm going to put Roman in second because Vlad's going to come in a little bit too watery, and your 4th and 5th, I'll swap them.
Okay, I like it. Good.
Okay.
So you've got I can't even remember who I put 4th and 5th, but I'll write it all up after the show.
But the
Exactly.
good thing is for me now, the good thing is for me being 51, people are just going to say I'm a fucked up, washed up old bodybuilder, see, so it doesn't bother me.
Yeah, you're senile now, so it's fine.
Hey Xavier, have you ever gone back and seen if anyone predicted it exactly right?
I have once myself. This was a couple of years ago though. But Keon Pearson actually this year, he got 4 out of the top 5 exactly right in the only show he's predicted.
On the podcast that we did last time, or?
Yep, he almost nailed it.
You should
And I thought his was off. Yeah, I should review all the picks every time.
Yeah.
I'll
if
go back
someone
and check it out,
nails
bro.
it, if someone nails the top 6, pretty good.
Yeah, I nailed a top 5 once exactly in a pro show, and I was very happy with myself. But no one gives you the credit because everyone just wants to talk shit when you get it wrong. Like honestly, there's people in the comments like, "You guys have no fucking idea. You got every pick. You only got one right."
I know I had the top 1 in fitness once, only because I was dating her.
See?
You have the inside word.
I don't know why people get so passionate about your predictions because anything can happen.
I know, people get really mad, don't they? When you don't get it right, they're like, "Oh, you fucking suck. You don't know anything. Fuck, you call yourself this and that." It's like...
They do it. They do it with the UFC too. On the UFC ones, you make a prediction. Oh, you're a fucking idiot. Blah blah blah.
What about even some of the bodybuilders? You're just having fun. They're like, "I can't believe you put me in second or third. What the fuck? You fucking." I was like, "Oh. Fuck, just relax. You know, just
You're
fucking
like, chill. pull your
And it's like,
out of your ass.
It's like, you know, if like you actually do better, it almost is like a good thing for you. And if we put you lower in the predictions, more people get in the comments supporting that bodybuilder. So they actually it's almost a benefit if we predict you lower.
Yeah, because
so for anyone who gets upset,
because you've overachieved instead of underachieved.
I'd hate people saying you're going to win, because now you got the pressure of you got to win. If someone goes, oh, you're going to get 6th or 7th, they'll be like, hey, anything above that. That's why when people used to get mad at me when I'm doing those Battlefield Olympia, I'd always say on the video, don't talk to me. I'm training for 10th place or 8th place. That way, anything above that was a bonus to me. So I was like, hey.
I remember I loved those Battlefield Olympia DVDs back in the day. I can't remember which year it was. I remember I was only probably 16. I would have been 16 years old. And because the Battlefield Olympia DVDs were expensive. Like, they were not cheap to order. Like, they were like $60 or $65 back then in Australia. And I was 16. So I remember one of my other friends ordered it and we'd go around to his place to watch it. So it was like so different to how today is. I remember he ordered it. And then you were on it, Lee. So I remember, like, we went straight to the Lee Priest one to watch it first, and because he already watched it, and I was like, "How's Lee on this one?" And he's like, "Oh, you know, he's funny as fuck. Lee's, you know, mouthing off as always." And was like, "Oh, cool." And it's like you just didn't give a shit, but it was like you were definitely the funnest one to watch on all of them.
So many people took it serious. I remember even Kevin one time, they teamed Kevin up in his room before the Olympia at Long Beach, and I go in and Kevin's there. He's like, "Lee, how you going to do?" I'm like, it's my first Olympia. I don't care. I'm just here to have fun and that. Oh, he just gave me the fucking 3rd degree. You can't be like that. This is serious. You got to take it serious. I said, I am taking it serious, but I mean, I've done all I can do. Once I get on stage, it's out of my hands. So, you know, whatever I get, I get. That's not the attitude. I'm like, oh, fuck, Kev, just relax, will you? For fuck's sake.
Have some fucking fun, man. Jesus Christ.
But that was the one, too. That was that Olympia. That was when Paul got 4th, I got 5th, and Kevin was 6th, and Kevin was backstage crying to Jim Mannion. We get on the bus to go to the buffet. Now Kevin's been moved from 6th to 4th. I got moved from 5th to 6th, and Gillette went from 4th to 5th. They changed the placing after the show.
Why did they change it? Because it complained?
We don't know, but they said, we read it out wrong. And the funny thing was, Paul didn't know because I didn't even know because, I got the fake fruit bowl with 5th place and the certificate. You just didn't get the check, but I hopping on the bus. People are like, Lee, sorry about your placing. I'm like, it's my first Olympia. I got 5th. What's wrong with that? Oh, you didn't hear. You got moved down to 6th. I got moved to 6th. They're like, yeah. I said, oh. So when I got on the Queen Mary boat, I said, Paul, you got moved from 4th to 5th. I said, fuck, you just lost 20 grand. Paul was living with me. He's like, what, son? What? I said, you just got moved from 4th to 5th. He goes, huh? He goes, where's Wayne? I said, he's over there. Next thing I look over and Paul's got Wayne by the neck against the wall.
Those were the days. That would never happen these days.
I love the old school days of hearing how the bodybuilders used to attack the people. If they were pissed, they were like, fuck you. I'm going to let you know how I feel.
But the funniest one too was on the European tour with NASA at one time. We just did it as a joke. We're in Budapest. So Paul Dillette and I send NASA this chocolate cake. Fucking hell. You've seen NASA do those interviews where he talks bad to the women and just says, you're stupid. This fucking poor waiter gives him the cake. He just stands up. Why you give me this fucking chocolate cake? You a fucking idiot. What's this? What's that? Who ordered this? And Paul and I start laughing. He turns around. You too. This isn't funny. This is and now that's the shit on Paul and I in this restaurant. We're just laughing our heads off. It's so funny.
Most of the days, man. But I wanted to show you guys this. I don't know if the audio will come through or not. This is over 10 years ago now. This is Aaron after your first show, was it? Or after your second show? Just shortly after. First show. So, wait, I don't know if the audio will come through or not, but I hope it does because your voice is dramatically different. And I sound like an idiot, so.
Look at Xavier there, huh? Look at you.
Can you hear it?
No.
Wait. Let me turn it up. Ah, damn. But yeah, I look ridiculous. I only just got glasses too, so.
You don't even look like the same fucking person.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people say. And Aaron's voice is super high pitch as well, compared to now at least anyway.
Prove it, mate. Prove it. You can't prove it.
I'll download it for next episode. You'll see.
And had you been training long there, Xavier? How long have you been training for there?
It's too embarrassing to say. But yeah, it's pretty funny.
You were sick for a month before this interview, weren't you?
Exactly, right? Exactly. Aaron Pilates. There's photos for next year where I look like I've got some sort of muscle.
Looks like Aaron's got the old Kabakov contest color on there almost.
Yeah, but what tan did you use back then?
That was FitX.
Yeah, FitX before it turned into the Arnold Classic Australia. This isn't it. I found some photos of us the other day, which is from this one. But both our names are mentioned here. Xavier Wills, I won that one, and Aaron won the under 80s at that one. How long after did you turn pro, Aaron?
4 years.
What did you win? What did you win there? The drinking contest?
No, I won the classic. There was 14 guys in it, I think.
The hot dog contest.
I don't know where the... Oh, wait. Amateur men's photo... There I am. And there's Josh Lindner.
Mr. himself.
You're actually
Look at the grunt face.
Oh,
then you got Aaron here.
Let's critique him. He's got very high lat insertions. Now,
I do.
His legs are a little shallow.
There's more. There's Josh Lindner where he turned pro.
He skipped too many leg days, that guy, didn't he?
Yeah, there I am. There I am.
Yeah, well, it's a good thing they didn't change the legs.
Yeah, no. Well, my legs weren't my strongest. And then you got Aaron. There I am in the middle there.
Upper body's really
then
good.
you got. Thanks, man. Then you got Aaron down here. You actually probably one of the more shredded guys of that show. I remember because the lighting was pretty harsh from memory. Because I thought I was pretty shredded, and then I look at this and I'm like, no, not really.
No, we'll be honest with you. Let's critique it. No, you weren't. No.
I cringe at some of my early shows, but ugh.
I know the ones you think you look good at, then you see videos and photos and go, oh,
some of the posing was horrendous.
Oh yeah. My first show, I remember my legs. I had them going directly out to the side, and I was so thin as well. It just looked like I was just this like big beam pole that just. I'm like, what am I doing on stage? And then the next show I was out of condition, so I kept looking down at myself constantly, and I'm like, oh my fuck, and you just want to erase that DVD in that contest completely. But yeah, anyway, actually when I worked for RX, I remember I'd have people message me, and I think that weren't happy with how they looked, and they're like, could you take my photos down off the RX contest gallery? And Dave had a thing where I wouldn't take them down, and people would have to pay money to have their photos taken down. So I had to pay Dave. I'm like, yeah, because the pain is a pain in the ass to go back in there. Yeah, exactly. You want your photos taken down? $500. It wasn't that much, but it was a few hundred, 160 or something.
I thought you just went away and put safety glasses and earmuffs on then. I thought, is he going to get pull a drill out and start putting this
start welding?
I'm going to fucking work. A little
rude during the podcast, but that's fine. But I wanted to mention one thing, and we'll wrap up the show. But obviously Jo Lindner, who's Joesthetics on IG, over 8 million followers, a huge following, only 30 years of age, was put out by his partner that he had an aneurysm, which we don't know if that's confirmed or not, because there's going to be an autopsy and everything done. And there was massive speculation online as well. Obviously, Greg Doucette was coaching him too, and he's shared some messages. I think he did a video today and basically showed some screenshots of him saying how he's concerned, how he's basically, look, I don't want to do too much. I don't want to take too much because of my health and all that sort of stuff in general. And he did have that rippling muscle disease, which was sort of made infamous by him as well. But obviously, there's a few potential contributing factors there. He was doing, I saw More Plates, More Dates. Derek from More Plates, More Dates did a video on it where he sort of said, you can get more coagulation and potential clotting effects and stuff from doing a lot of long distance flying, which he was doing at the time. And so there's so many factors. And there's obviously the jab that everyone spoke about where he had 4 shots.
Even normal people get this. That's the sad thing is if you're in the training, bodybuilding, eat too much protein, you take a bit of steroids, it's always going to come down to drugs and blah, blah, blah. When there's probably been 100 people this week died of the same thing who have never touched a steroid, who don't eat high protein. So sadly in this sport, it always goes back to that. But, the guy, sadly, it could just be a genetic thing that people have. And he kept healthy, inspired people, and that's the main thing. It's like, why try and shit on someone and say, if he'd never done this, it wouldn't have happened and blah, blah, blah. It's like, hey, he lived his life, he had fun. And like I said, no one knows when our time's up, no matter what we do. I know people, I've had friends who eat healthy, fish and salads, drop dead of heart attacks at 40. Now I've got friends that drink, smoke, don't train, do drugs, and haven't got a health concern in the world. So it's like, it's just, when your number's up, it's up. Just enjoy life and make the most of it.
That's the biggest thing. I made a post about it, talking about it, because I talked to a few people that actually know him, because I'm with a few companies that he was with, and they said the same thing. There was an aneurysm and everything. And he was with his girlfriend, I think, when it happened, and he'd like pass in his sleep whenever it happened. And like they were saying, they were like, it's just one. They were like, he took care of himself. He enjoyed himself. They were like, they said the same thing Lee just said. They were like, you don't fucking know when you're gonna go. Like, you don't know. Like, but people are always gonna start pointing fingers, saying this, and this.
Yeah. And one of my
apparently his auntie had the same thing.
Yeah, one of my mum's best friends, her son, he came home from work last year. His wife was making him dinner. He said, I'm going to watch TV. He sat on the couch, and he just said to her, I have a bit of a headache. I'm going to sit on the couch. By the time she brought his dinner in 10 minutes later, he was dead. Just aneurysm, just dead.
Yeah, you never know. You never fucking know. But people just refuse to let people rest in fucking peace, and they want to continue to trash talk them.
Exactly. And I even actually felt for Greg Doucette as well, because there was some videos made, and people, like, when you look at the comments he was getting and everything like that, I'm like,
I saw some on Tony Hughes as well. They're like, oh, he was in Thailand, Tony Hughes killed him as well, and blah blah blah.
It's disgusting, dude.
Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah, so I felt for Greg Doucette, because he put out a video on it. Basically, he said how he drank 4 liters of coffee a day. He didn't specify that, apparently he drank a fair bit of decaf. So, obviously that's a little bit different. You're not having all the stimulants and all the caffeine in there. But it's I just felt for Greg Doucette, because I'm like, that would suck being in that situation. Obviously, he, probably had some sort of a decent relationship with this guy. Obviously, did not want anything to happen to him. He passes away, and then he's got to defend himself.
And the thing is, too, even if you don't like Greg Doucette, you don't like Tony Hughes, you don't like any of these people, I can't really see any coach or anyone who wants to help someone and is friends with someone trying to fucking kill them and give them drugs that are going to kill them. It's like, come on.
It's so stupid. And another thing that I was like, people don't think about is, we were just talking about genetics earlier. Joe could just be ripped like this because of his genetics. It doesn't mean he's taken, we ain't saying he's natural, but it doesn't mean he's taking this astronomical amount of shit to look the way he is.
Exactly.
So it's like, that's another thing people don't realize. It's like, 1, he took care of himself. 2, he shows what the food he fucking eats and how big he can eat with the burgers and fries. So clearly he ate food and enjoyed himself, but it's not his fault that he was ripped like this year round, whether he took stuff or not.
Yeah.
Even when you see bodybuilders who are in their 70s die and they've had a long life, that's the fucking steroids that seems to say
every time. I'm like,
70.
It's like, you're 70. What the fuck do you think just happened? When your grandma died at 70, it's not because of steroids, is it?
No, that's crazy. Yeah.
You sound like Optimus Prime.
Now?
That's
okay. That's fair.
Welcome back, Optimus. Welcome back.
Yeah, it sounded like you were dipping your microphone in your coffee.
Really? I don't know what the fuck goes on with my
Just a little
weird. I just saw Stan going like this.
You're still on camera, Xavier. You don't turn the vibrator on yet, okay?
I know. I was charging it, getting ready.
This is a different show, man. We got to transfer the other platform for this one.
Yeah. That's after hours on RX.
Desktop R-rated or uncut.
Yeah. Exactly.
Desktop after hours.
Yeah, you guys have no idea what goes on. when I stop recording, you guys have no idea.
Oh, he's still recording, but he stops this recording.
Yeah. It's a separate.
Another platform.
OnlyFans carries on later.
Exactly. We put in our masks and we just go.
Well, actually,
anyway,
I got to run anyway and pick up the missus from work.
Yeah, I need to hit the sheets.
See,
I'm 40 minutes late for my accountant appointment.
Okay.
I've ruined everyone's day.
My accountant's messaged me going, "Are you still coming?"
Oh shit!
No,
okay.
Look, this actually helped me because I already finished my last meal, and this actually distracted me from like my food. So I'm just ready to lay down and pass the fuck out now. So this actually helped.
Amazing, awesome.
Stan,
So
good luck in your show, Stan, coming up too.
Yeah.
Stan, you gotta fucking kill it, man. Really, you're gonna kill it, Stan, for real. Good luck, man.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. Good
Just
luck,
watch
brother.
out. Just watch out next week. Xavier will be doing a video. I think his lat insertions are a little bit too
don't take me out to be that guy.
He's gonna come after your beard next, Stan. You better watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I'll be like, but he really needs to shave a beard and get
He's a little
hair
trim it up a
transplant.
little bit.
I noticed it's a theme though. A lot of bored people just keep the beard because they're bored. So.
Yeah, but it,
Balance it out, you know.
I've been still going good for 51. That's okay.
For real.
yeah, that's impressive. Well, Aaron's had the hair transplant, so like you're not even at that level yet.
No.
You haven't had one?
Thanks for pointing that out, Xavier.
No worries, man. It looks good. It looks good.
It looks natural. It's natural. It's okay.
Yeah. Leave me did
It
a
does.
fucking
It does
spray
look
can and spray it on.
Yeah.
I'm grey as hell, so I can't say anything. You got the greys on the side, so I'm rough.
Right.
But anyway, thanks guys so much for doing this. Happy birthday, Lee. Hope you had a good day.
Thank you.
And hopefully we didn't ruin it too bad and make your wife angry at you for being late or anything. But anyway, that's it for
Yeah.
I'm the
myself.
boss of this household, though. Who do you think you're talking to?
Exactly.
I appreciate you guys.
Just go, shut up, bitch. Like that.
It's been fun, guys. I'll put everyone's links to
Yeah.
their social media in the description below. Yours, Logan, all you guys as
Thank
well. For myself, Xavier Wills, Stanimal, Stan Longeaux, Aaron Pilates, Lee Priest, and Logan Guthrie. We are out.
Peace.
Hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Bodybuilding University. If you did, there's a ton more episodes on desktop bodybuilding right now from the past. We've had guys like Nick Walker on. Obviously, weekly we have Brett Wilkin, Nathan Diasha, Martin Fitzwater, Stanimal, Stan DeLongeau. Recently had Beef Stew, Stuart Sutherland on. And we have a whole ton more guests coming up for you guys as well. Sergio Oliva Jr., tons of names coming at you guys. Also, you get tons of bodybuilding news, all that good stuff. So make sure you like this video, also subscribe and hit the notification bell button. That way you'll be notified of every video that goes up from myself here, Xavier Wills at Desktop Bodybuilding, and you won't miss out on another episode of Bodybuilding University. So that's it for this one, guys. Xavier Wills and all the guys at Bodybuilding University. This is Desktop Bodybuilding, and we are out.